Oh, I'm telling you, welcome everyone to Top Gun Sales Boot Camp training. This is when it gets to be fun and exciting. Like everything hits the fan. Like, man, is this cool. All right, start off with Luke. What you got?
How do you become a better planner?
You try to go ahead and get out in front of the situation before it blows up in your face. Like you listen,
Leave room
internalize,
for it. Give yourself a little cushion.
right? Like the teeth in the bridge principle. You familiar? You all familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you leave room, you leave room. And so, yeah, so there's that. There's watching the details, like what details will kill you. So everything that we're learning in here, this is real life. This is not like normal education where, do you really apply, what you're learning in school? Depends how much school you go to. The more school you go to, maybe the less you apply. This is not like everything we're learning will help you make money if you learn it and help you lose money if you don't. And what's worse than that is letting down clients. Customers are everything. I mean, everything. So I don't know if I've gone through and done the rings of influence. We're kind of under time pressure today, but I don't know if we've done the rings of influence, but I think we have. But again, how do you go ahead and internalize the stuff? Like Tom Coons tells me the story once, Alvin Miller tells me the story once, and then boom, I got it. I got that bad boy because these stories, are really, really important. So Tom said the hardest thing as you grow a company is to get everybody focused on the customer. Everybody gets focused on themselves. And so the customer is everything. And you guys have two customers in that job that's on fire now. You got the end customer you haven't even met, but put yourself in their situation. They have a home inspection. They're excited. They the husband, he's gonna look like a hero. Like he's a hero. He helped put this whole thing together. Could be the wife, but often it's the husband. And his wife is so excited about doing it, and all the kids are excited, and family's excited, everybody's excited. And you got cabinet installers that, something happens. And so it's the ripple, the domino principle. And how do you guys put this as one of your training sessions for all of your people? Like, I don't know, but hey, do we care about other people or do we just talk care? And then it goes ahead, and then you've got the what's it called? It's the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And so, are you the weakest link? Every one of your team members need to understand, like, you're kind of important here. And how does your stuff become, our stuff that becomes then the customer stuff? The customer stuff is the most important stuff. And then you got the referral partner. Well, they're working and building their business, and all of a sudden they're trusting, us to do something. We don't do it. This is a CF. I won't even, it's a cluster and won't use the second because it's vulgar, but it's like, come on. Ugh. I love it. It's when we grow the most. Anything else, Luke, you got?
Nope, I don't think so.
Oh, it's the caught in the middle principle is what I was thinking. If you're surrounded by weak, inefficient, ineffective people, you too will go ahead and be weak, inefficient, and ineffective. You just will. It's the natural law. These natural laws are like the law of gravity. Like if you're surrounded by weak, inefficient, ineffective people, you're going to be weak, ineffective, inefficient. That's what you're going to be. So every team member has got to go ahead and know that. Like, Nora, what you got?
I had 72% yesterday.
Good go, girl. Nice. Well done. Anything else you got?
Not right now, I don't think.
Okay, Kenny, what you got?
So with today, what happened in the cabinet shop industry, cabinet installs, I'm gonna drill that into the guys on the way to the job, the new guys, make sure they're trained in that. It doesn't happen with them. Um, but I guess, is there a way to approach that or do that in a way that's more effective, most effective?
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, the internalization is key. Internalization model. Why do I feel this more than you guys do?
I don't know.
Because I'm married and I have kids. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
ask, on one of the young men's, podcasts, you ask, how do you go ahead and prepare for a wife and kids? Have employees. Then you get to care for their wife and their kids. Like, it's a wonderful gift. Like, really? Uh-huh. And what's even better than that is have women that have goofball husbands. You get to care for their husbands and their kids. It's like, and it's not a victim. It's a wonderful feeling. You like to do it when life happens and it's messy and it's all messy. It's like, I'm a hero, but have empathy. How do you have empathy? I don't have a model for that. So we often get so stuck in ourselves. It's all about ourselves. Everything's about ourselves, and we can't feel other people. So, like, I just think of this dad out there, and he's worked his tail off, and they're in the new home, and they built this house, and they're excited to move in, and and his wife thinking he's a hero, and the kids, probably an expressive dad, and he's, his wife thinks he's a hero. The kids think he's a hero, and everything's, they're so excited about everything. And then all of a sudden, yeah, we can't have the inspection. We can't move in. There was a party that was planned. Everything goes like it's the procrastination video, like, the crazy monster, whatever that is. And everything's good. The whole system goes into chaos. You might be saying, Mark, are you being a bit dramatic? I don't know, because I don't know who the end customer is. It can happen. Somebody's probably disappointed. And so, like, I heard somebody, I don't know, I've not had, and I know how much work it takes to develop a referral partner. I know that. So I can just feel everybody's pain. And by feeling everybody's pain, that gives me the energy and the ability to go ahead and be a man. Go ahead and say, okay, how are we going to fix this at the core? Like, your choices affect other people, and you've got to have depth. So I don't know, Kenny, sometimes you got to get a bit dramatic. Sometimes you got to go ahead and, do you understand? Do you get it? Like, if you put it in Life GPS, you put it in like this here. Like, people don't connect the dots. It's just irritating. Get me going, my gracious. And so here we go ahead and, in Life GPS, like, and people erase their memories. It's crazy. It's like, are you kidding? No, this is it. And so, here we go ahead and have vision. So, what's my vision for Legacy Partners and everybody that's involved? Like, is this one situation a threat to my vision? It is. Is it a threat to other people's vision? It is. Like, it's like one little cut in your arm. If that's not dealt with, you can amputate your arm. So people say, well, Mark, you're a bit dramatic. Am I? Or do I just care? Like, so, like, here, Kenny, somebody goes ahead and you guys, Dreamscape sets up, and what's your vision? What's Luke's vision? You guys put together a video. And then you have people interact with it. Like, they do a reflection. Like, what'd you think of Kenny's and Luke's vision? If you throw me in the mix, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. but it's like, is your vision worth anything? And then they interact with it. So does this move you? Does this excite you? Does this inspire you? Does this, like, do you want to come to work when you're sick, when something happens, and do you feel a sense of responsibility, or like, oh, this stuff happens? It's like, really? Like, I don't know. It's just, so, so here, like, this stuff is important. Like being a great team member. So, there's a 11-minute, 12-minute, and here, like, people, it's crazy. Had the coolest experience in the world, did a podcast and had people participate. They didn't even realize it applied to them. It's like, like, you're not 3 years old, but people aren't attentive. People aren't paying attention to things. And so, how do you build great team members? And so if you, as an owner of a company, it's like you go ahead and get everybody else's problems. And so you start realizing, and so someday in the future, you're going to say, I thought Mark was a bit dramatic. I thought he, was over the top. I thought he was petty. You're going to think a lot of things, but as you get further in life, you're going to say, you know what? I'm not saying I agree with Mark. I'm not saying it couldn't be done a different way, a better way. He's not saying that either. But you'll have a better understanding. It's interesting because my oldest son, Jonathan, he died coming up on 6-year anniversary. So 6 years ago, he was 30 years old. And he said, Dad, when I was younger, I was judged you pretty hard on how you treated Mom. But now that I'm married, like it's like, so we don't have empathy for other people. We just don't. We do not have empathy. But do we have too much empathy and say, hey, do you understand the ripple effect? Do you understand how this choice connects to this choice that connects to this choice? And do you understand how everything, and people don't. I mean, what do you do with your minds? Don't even get me going. Like today I could, like, yeah. Any other questions or thoughts, Kenny, you have?
And then when somebody that wasn't trained for that or in that, how do you address them or address it with them? Like, I think I can do that where it could be a bit dramatic and try to, I don't have a good gauge for myself on when I'm being too hard on people and when I'm not.
So you just are transparent. You're just vulnerable then.
Got it.
And so will people take advantage of that vulnerability? Probably. Will people be stupid? Probably. Will people go ahead and make it about themselves? Probably. And you just laugh. You're like, okay. Like it's just weird. And so you just say, hey, I don't know if I'm being too hard on you, especially since you're so young. It's good to be humble and demonstrate to people you are humble. And it's one of the best advantages of, it's one of the advantages if you can ever go ahead and have a driver, if you can ever have a driver on, especially a driver analytic, because then you can just blame them for everything. Like just blame them for everything. They're just do it, everything. Or you can they'd rather deal with you, Kenny, than deal with a driver analytic. Because a driver analytic, they'll wait, and then they will rip it. They'll rip that Band-Aid off, and it'll pull all the hair off the body. Like it'll be crazy. Like dang, like didn't know I was a mummy. So I don't know. You're just, you got a lot of stuff at stake, and so like, I don't have a model for empathy. It's something that, like, one of the biggest failures I think as a dad is I didn't teach my kids empathy. There's some have it. Couple of the 7 have it. Most of them don't. Honestly, most of them do not. Urgh. So I need to develop maybe. Yeah, I need to develop a model for empathy. And what I know is, what I do know is I know that I know you can't have feelings of entitlement, self-righteousness, and victimhood. As soon as somebody goes into one of these, the other two kicks in and they black out, they become locked. And so, but there's more to empathy, a lot more, and I don't know. And so you expose them to it, Kenny, then you get them to interact with it. So I had a team member yesterday I was talking to. I said, "Well, you're familiar with this situation, right?" And the person's like, "No, not familiar." I'm like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah." Talk to another team member. I'm like this team member wasn't familiar. This other team member said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure you shared that." Well, pretty sure isn't good enough, is it? What I need is I need a podcast on that the person went through and, actually went ahead and, managed up and out, actually did a reflection. So I can go back. I know exactly where that podcast was. I go back, look at it, say, did you go? Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. I mean, it's weird to me on how people they mind shift and they just forget. Like, you're just like, how can you not know that? But they do. So this is Life GPS, the answer to everything. I don't know. I'm hoping it's the answer to a lot of things. So it's hard, Kenny. It is really, really hard. And it's not getting any easier. It's so much like parenting. My gracious, am I glad I'm not parenting young kids. I mean, it was harder, I think, for me than my parents, and harder for my parents and the grandparents. It's harder now to raise children than it's ever been. And it's harder to go ahead and have employees, team members than it's ever been. Everything's getting harder. So having a tool like the Life GPS that can go through and help people, get ahead of situations and understand situations it's like a dream to me. I wish I had this when I was your age, when I was in your season of life and business. Anything else, Kenny, you got?
No, I do not.
Anything, Nora, you got?
No.
All right, this is exciting. This is when it gets to be. This is like a police officer, like in a chase. This is like a medevac pilot when you're flying in and somebody's life depends on it. Like, this is great training. I did a really cool podcast with a guy that was a firefighter for over 30 years. Played pickleball with him. Fascinating guy. So he's a firefighter, and he had an amazing story. And it was interesting. He had a new recruit, and the new recruit was kind of bummed because they didn't have any calls that day. And the new recruit says, "Man, I'm bummed because I didn't have any calls that day." And Jay said, and he said, "It didn't come from me. It came from somebody who mentored me because I was in the same situation." And he said to the new recruit, he says, "No, this is good." And the guy's like, "How is it good?" He's like, "Because when we have a slow day, that means somebody else is having a good day. When we go ahead and have a hard day, when we have a lot of calls, that means somebody else is having a bad day. And this new recruit, I'd love to do a podcast on him. He said he got it. He said, I was being so selfish where I just wanted the adrenaline rush. And so, yeah. So hopefully that little different one today, right? Like every one of the podcasts, like this stuff, like you're like, wow. Like Top Gun is just, it's fascinating. It's not only for salespeople, but it's for business owners for sure. Uh-huh. And it's not only for business owners, it's for dads, uh-huh, and moms, uh-huh, and kids. Uh-huh. I mean, we haven't even gotten into the really cool stuff like my grandchildren. Like Lily, she's now 8 years old. And when she was 3 and she didn't get something from her mom. And so she was crying and all crabby and everything. And I said, hey, sweetie, Grandpa's here for you. He wants to, what do you want from your mom? Because Grandpa's going to try to help you get it. Grandpa might not. And if your mom says no to Grandpa, she's being a great mom. But Grandpa's here for you. Like he's here for you. He wants to be your advocate. And I want to help you. I want to teach you how to sell to your mom. Like your mom, she loves you like crazy. And she wants the best for you. And she wants to give you these things. She does. But there's a reason that your mom's not. And so, this covers, like, I think everybody ought to be, going through Top Gun. That just gave me an idea. Anyways, if you have any questions, connect with the individual invited you to participate. Always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.